but 2 kidney transplants within that span of time. And the way that I in college, I actually wanted to go into medicine. And I was a picture of, so we have to learn a lot of these things. But for me personally, I was very active in the wellness.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Kidney Coach YouTube channel. I am naturopathic Dr. Fiona Chin, co-founder of Kidney Coach, Kidney Disease Solution, and our supplements Kaigenesis. And I am very excited today to be joined for the first time by the beautiful, amazing Stephanie Modavis. Now, Stephanie is such a, look at her, she's drop dead, stunning, gorgeous. But Stephanie, believe it or not, has been through 2 kidney transplants, and she just has such a wealth of knowledge. And she's super passionate about holistic healthcare, coaching, and how to navigate the journey of healing after, before, and moving through things like autoimmune diseases, kidney failure, and then and I'll let Stephanie share her story, but she's been on dialysis and then the heartbreak of a failed transplant and having to go through it all again. But what I really love about Stephanie is that her resilience, and really what she's cultivated through her journey to come up with strategies and ways that really have allowed her to navigate something that's super stressful and transform it into something that she's not only used to help heal herself. You obviously have really invested your time and resources and energy into educating and researching and doing that. And you come off the back of being naturally curious about natural health care and all those sort of things, and then trained. So why don't you tell everybody that's listening, firstly, a bit about yourself, and then I think what people really want to know is your journey and what you went through and all of those sort of things that make you super relatable to everybody that's on this kidney journey themselves.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, again, I'm happy to tell my story. It's a long, complex one. It started when I was 19 and I'm now 47. I'm happy to say that I'm 47. So really, when you take that into account, to understand that my journey has included 5 years of hemodialysis, 1 year of peritoneal dialysis, and then not one, but 2 kidney transplants within that span of time. And the way that I've been able to really turn my life, my health, and just my whole journey around through this process, that now I help others which is what actually I had to cultivate through my journey, because I didn't have it. It wasn't offered to me. I will say, going back to more of the beginning of my process, I was 19 years old, just graduated, entering college. I actually wanted to go into medicine, and I was a picture of health. Okay, so that's just one thing that I like to bring to the table is some people come to this journey of kidney disease through different means. Some people do have issues with taking care of themselves and learning how to eat. Most of us aren't taught that throughout school, so we have to learn a lot of these things. But for me personally, I was very active in the wellness community already. In fact, I was a trained yoga teacher and a massage therapist. So I already had this blossoming love and desire for the functional medicine, integrative space, just beautiful space. And I have to say, I am so grateful that I had a few years of rich experience with more of an Eastern medicine, holistic type of care philosophy, because when I did suddenly get sick, I was immediately thrown into the Western medical model. So having that few years of the integrative and knowing how to meditate, knowing how to stretch and eat well, and knowing a little bit about nutrition and my mindset and the power of feeling my emotions and getting into my body, I had just enough experience with that to guide me through the trenches of really suddenly going into a very severe autoimmune disease that led into kidney failure. So I was diagnosed with lupus, which is a very common autoimmune disease, misdiagnosed for a year, which I know can be common for people that have autoimmune issues. Not so common now, but 20 plus years ago, very common. So I had a very frustrating year of almost coming to my own death because nobody really knew what was going on. I had all organ systems involved. And in fact, before I had to start dialysis, I actually hemorrhaged into my lungs on the table where they thought I was going to pass away. So this was when I was 23, 24. So not the life and the journey that I expected, especially with somebody who was so invested in my well-being, right? I was very confused and I felt very betrayed by the man above. Like I'm doing everything right.
Yeah.
How all of a sudden do I have this surprise autoimmune disease and I'm literally on my deathbed? So I went through a bit of a reckoning in those years where I was struggling with the autoimmune disease. I was in and out of the hospital and about to start dialysis. I was a bit resistant to get the biopsy because I was determined that I could heal myself.
Yeah.
Was
I get
determined.
that.
And, ultimately I had a profound surrendering I had to do because I had to just trust that somehow my journey was going to mean something. Somehow me going through what I didn't want to go through was going to produce something profound, which it did. Right. So
I love that. I'm sorry to stop you there because I think that is such a key part of healing, isn't it? It's finding the meaning in it, or making it bigger than the suffering. So sorry to interrupt you. I think that's such a big gem that people could hear
yes.
that.
And
So,
in the wellness space, that is the goal. The goal of the wellness space is to be extremely preventative. And I am all for that. I really love that. And that's also missing from the medical model. So that's why I love what you guys do so much. So me being a, holistic health coach myself and doing my work, I thought I'm determined I'm going to fix this. At the time, now looking back, I realized that that profound amount of resistance was something that I needed to lean into instead of run from. So my doctor was kind of, calling me like, please just get a biopsy. Let's not wait. Let's just see what's going on. So that's when I realized my journey was not going to go the way that I had hoped that it had gone. But I had to let go. So right away, I was getting a profound lesson with my mindset. And, I had a little bit of distrust with the Western medical model. I'm not going to lie. So I was more of a natural type of girl. So I didn't really want to go into this space, but I had to let go and I had to trust my journey and just believe that it was going to, I just kept saying to myself, this is going to turn around and mean something to me. I don't know what, I don't like it, but I have to let go. That was really the initiation into me understanding that my illness was not just physical. It was emotional, it was mental, and it was spiritual. And then I started to realize, oh, I understand how the training I had previously is going to follow me along this journey within the Western medical model. Because as we all know, unfortunately, we're still at a point where they very much leave out the profound connection of the mind and the body.
For sure.
Right. So I was fortunate to have that experience, but the next 5 years was very difficult for me as my health continued to decline. There was nothing I could do personally any longer that was going to try to reverse things. And there was a constant surrendering and, just going to those places that I didn't want to go. But once I let go and I really surrendered, I really had to really look at the Western medical model from what they were teaching me and telling me to do, and also try to keep in my mind while I was getting sick the profound nature of the integrative side of it, because I kept getting conditioned out of it. In fact, I did have a rheumatologist say to me, Stephanie, I know you're all into holistic medicine and you do yoga and you're a yoga teacher. None of that's going to help you now. And it was like a stab in the heart. And I realized this doctor, this medical professional, does not have experience in the comfort and what the holistic community and offerings actually give me. Maybe they're not fixing my body right now, but there's other elements to the holistic community that are keeping me afloat mentally and spiritually.
Yeah.
Right. So I had to forgive him. I fired him.
So I've fired many of my neurologists for exactly the same thing, so I get it.
I had to fire him lovingly and understand that I was going to be on my own with how I integrated my holistic experience with my kidney disease.
If you want more information about Stephanie, I'll put in all the links below. If you want to find out more about what we do, head to www.kidneycoach.com. You'll often find it, not often, you will also find us on Facebook and Instagram under all the same stuff. Remember to hit subscribe and like. That way you will get notified anytime we put up new content. Stephanie, thank you again. Really appreciate you. Looking forward to this journey with you. And everybody listening, thank you for being part of our community. As always, I hope you found this valuable. We look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.